stop hitting me and giving me my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay? I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son? His ass going to prison. If you goddamn keep up, going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him.
Alright, you kids get to bed, I get the storyboard.
There is a place in the state of Georgia where no criminal ever wants to go. That place is called Alto State Prison, formerly Lee Arrendale in Alto, Georgia. If you come here, you surely won't make it out.
Stay tuned for Tales from the Toe.
Tales from the Toe, The Fall and Rise of King Harris. Chapter 1. In the heart of Georgia, nestled in the small town of Alto, population 2,300, stood the once famous Lee Arrendale State Prison. It had been a beacon of reform for women since 2005, but the tides of change swept through its corridors as alarming gang-related crimes surged in Atlanta as well as in other Georgia towns, especially among the youth. The state, in a desperate bid to curb this rising tide, converted the prison back to house male inmates, ages 13 to 21. Renamed Alto State Prison, it became a symbol of a new fight against gang-related crime and juvenile delinquency. Chapter 2. The Fall of a King. King Harris, the son of the famous rapper T.I., had always lived in the shadow of his famous dad and affluence. His life, a blend of luxury and street cred, took a tragic turn when he was implicated in a botched armed robbery turned homicide. Years before this tragic event occurred, he began displaying a behavioral pattern of rebellion that led to several viral moments on social media, one of them being a tussle with his dad at a Saints-Falcons NFL game in late 2023.
Well, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't shit you can do with me.
The teenager felt like he was about that street life, despite being partially raised in his parents' luxurious mansion, nestled in a gated community on the outskirts of town. Unluckily for him, he escaped that glitzy lifestyle for a more rugged one, around age 12, by moving in with his grandmother who resided in what is considered the trenches, or the ghetto part of town.
King, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?
Here. No, that's not the goal.
All right, then. So there it goes.
Or in your
I
ear.
don't know what you're talking about.
I had in the neighborhood with me that broke up with roach in your ear. Y'all want to go to the bando and man my neighborhood? Do y'all want to go to the bando? Do y'all want to go to the bando? To make him look better, he said it, he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, Tip used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the
You
fight.
cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath
Every
and
day.
throw tantrums to go over there.
I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. That's why I want to be over there. But they don't understand
No,
that.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why he wanted to be over there. Y'all ready? Because he can suck and pacify over there till he was 12 years old.
It was there that he began hanging out with a group of boys around his age, who later formed a Crip set called SAD Gang, which was an acronym for the words Savage All Day. Over the next several years, he built strong bonds with the group of guys, but was reluctant to join the gang himself, because deep down in his heart, he really was scared to participate in the criminal activities that his friends told him they did on a weekly basis. Armed robberies, shootouts with rival gangs, and homicides were normal activity, and each passing year King saw one or more of his friends get tons of years in prison or wiped off the face of the earth by an op. Little did King know it, but the leaders of the SAD gang only allowed him to hang around them because of his celebrity status, which helped finance the gang's weapons and drug supplies, as well as getting them girls when they went out partying. King eventually caught on to this, and it angered him so much that he began requesting to tag along whenever the gang went on missions, committing various crimes throughout the city, wanting to prove to them that he was about that life just as they were. It was this awful decision that led to him agreeing to be the getaway driver for them one warm April evening, as they decided to hit a small casino located up in the Buckhead area. King drove a group of 4 of the Crips to the spot and nervously got out of the getaway vehicle, a late-model Chevy Tahoe, to nervously smoke a Newport as the gang went inside of the building to relieve people of their money, jewelry, and cash. That particular casino was being secured by a gung-ho, ambitious 22-year-old security guard named Mike, who had aspired to be an FBI agent one day and was working his way up the ranks. When Mike spotted the ski-masked group of gangsters aiming large guns at the crowd of occupants, he immediately went into action, drawing his service weapon and firing at the intruders. After what seemed like hours, the Crips finally ran out of the casino with trash bags filled with loot, as Mike lay gasping for breath in a puddle of his own blood, having been hit with 29 rounds from 2 of the Crips' huge firearms. A week later, after all suspects had been caught, King's involvement in the robbery homicide was undeniable, captured in chilling clarity on the gambling destination's surveillance cameras. The judge showed no mercy, despite the scared teen's reiteration that he wasn't the one that killed Mike. King was sentenced to 40 years in Alto State Prison, shocking his parents and siblings, all who sat in the cold courtroom with tense looks on their faces. Chapter 3. Harsh Realities. King's arrival at Alto was a descent into a nightmare. The prison, echoing with the despair of young lives gone astray, was unforgiving. He faced horrors that no young man should, his fame a curse rather than a blessing, as inmates extorted him for money, forcing his dad, T.I., to cash app various incarcerated gang leaders thousands of dollars to assure his son's safety. King reached out to his parents in every phone call and visitation, his voice trembling over the phone and in person, begging for a way out. But the law was unyielding, the evidence against him irrefutable. Chapter 4. The Awakening. The first 5 years were the hardest. King, once a prince in his own world, was now just another number. Because of his long hair and light skin, he became a target for groups of booty bandits who were attracted to him because of his feminine facial features. All of his dad's money couldn't save him from getting sexually abused after a while, as several menacing inmates had their way with the fragile teen on a regular basis, mainly every time he went to take a shower, causing his spirit to go numb as he popped Tylenol, spearing after every event, hoping the medicine would help the pain go away in his backside. The poor teen could barely even take a number 2 because the pain hurt so bad some days. In that darkness, King found an unexpected light. He turned to faith, seeking solace in Christianity. It was not an easy journey. Skepticism and mockery followed him, but King persevered. Chapter 5. A Voice in the Wilderness. King's transformation was gradual but profound. He began to preach, his words resonating through the cold concrete walls of Alto. He spoke of redemption, of finding hope in despair, of the power to change. This transformation caused the booty bandits that had been sexing him on a regular basis to suddenly stop. His message found fertile ground among some of his fellow inmates, young men lost in a system that had given up on them. Chapter 6. The Ripple Effect. The change in King sparked a change in a few of the inmates in Alto. These prisoners, once men of despair, began to transform into mighty men of God. They spent their days preaching to people and praying. Chapter 7. A Long Road. King's journey was far from over. 40 years loomed large, but he faced them with a newfound strength. His parents, once helpless, now found pride in their son's metamorphosis. They advocated for prison reform, using their influence to shine a light on the issues King and so many like him faced. Chapter 8. Legacy. As the years passed, King's influence in Alto grew. His story, once a cautionary tale, became an inspiration. He may have entered Alto State Prison as a criminal, but he was on the path to leave it as a leader, a beacon of hope for those who had lost their way. In closing, the story of the fall and rise of King Harris, who eventually was transferred to an adult male prison after his 21st birthday and legally changed his name to Martin Luther King Harris, became a testament to the power of redemption. It reminded those that paid attention that behind every crime there is a story, and within every offender there is the potential for change.
Girl, you always trying to cater to the king when he want to do something. I asked to get baptized.
And you want to be baptized too?
King, you want to be baptized? Yeah.
Why? Why do you want to be baptized?
Because that's the Lord is my shepherd. What is being baptized? Like dips in holy water? Yeah, that is what it is. Then I answer your question. What does it mean? That you represent God's child.
That's good enough. That's good enough.
Good enough. I want to get baptized. That's the end of the story. I